I don't want to ride on somebody else's passion. I don't want to fight.
Hi, my name is Adiah. I'm from Portland, Oregon. And basically, to give you the testimony of how I got saved, how I got to know the Lord. I'm one of those people, I was raised in church, always grew up in church, was always surrounded by church. And it took me really leaving home to get to know God for myself. Growing up, I got to know church. I got to know how to do church, being in church all the time. I came to give my life to God when I was a young teenager. And I knew the things to do that were right, but at the same time, I had never seen anyone live that out before me. So I never felt like I had an example of anyone truly sold out for God, living it, no compromise, not settling, not giving into the world. I always saw people messing up and, the typical cliches, I messed up or somebody made me, I lost my salvation for a minute. And that's kind of, I guess, the way that I lived my life. And I would still club, drink, smoke. I would still do all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, I figured as long as I went to church and as long as I repented for those things, it was okay. And I was okay. So I managed my sin. And that's what I felt I was supposed to do. That's what you do as a Christian. It took me leaving home, being on my own, trying to manage my sin and realizing that my sin really had control of me when I really realized who I was and I really saw myself the way God saw me. And that's what really got my attention when I was about to lose everything. I was about to lose my career, my fiance, everything, because what I thought I was managing was really controlling me. It took for me getting to that point to really say, okay, God, I'm gonna give you everything, at this point, and I have nothing to lose. There's nothing else that can go wrong in my life. So I'm tired. I'm tired of living like this. I can't do this by myself. Basically realizing that what I was doing in life wasn't working, and I said, I'm gonna give it a try, give it my all. And even from there, it took time to really learn what it was to live holy. I think the biggest thing was learning to surround myself with holy people. To me, I felt like I was kind of always the example to others. I never really had people around me who were an example or who poured into me, really. It took me getting around, just people in the church who were able to pour into me, getting under leaders who I could really just pull from. And then putting that demand on their anointing, too, to want to learn from them and being able to receive, which has always been a hard thing for me, is being able to receive someone saying, no, what you're doing is wrong. And then taking that, applying it, and changing it around. Once I got married, and once my husband, really started following the Lord, he became an example to me, and he really started pushing me in the right direction, too. And then as we began to grow together, it was just amazing seeing we, I guess, weren't like everybody else. And I think that's when I realized, wow, the way I lived before isn't like the way I'm living now. I'm not willing to go to the club and ask for forgiveness, like look at certain type movies, drink, a lot of different type things, whereas before it wasn't a big deal to me to do. I remember this guy I was talking to here in Florida. We were talking about me being a Christian, and he's like, yeah, but you were a Christian then, and you used to club, you used to do this. And I realized, a lot of times there's people who we affect by our sin, by doing things that we're basically compromising in our life, but then there's other people who are affected by that, and they see you and they respect you as a Christian, but then they see you doing these things, and so they think, oh, that's what Christians do, and that's okay. And I realized there's so many people that I gave a bad example to of what a Christian was, and it really hurt me because I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to take that risk that somebody's going to see me and think that that's okay for a Christian to do. I want to be a true example. I want to have my children sold out and realizing they don't have to fall away and come back to Christ. They can follow Christ all the days of their life, and I just not wanting them to go through what I went through. But overall, what it took for me to come to know Christ is it took me coming to a point to where I saw myself the way God saw me and not the way I wanted to see myself. I couldn't form God into what I wanted him to be. I had to form myself into who he's called me to be. I think that when I realized that, when I started to apply, that was when I really started to mature and grow in my Christian walk.